Today we're going to be talking about spiritual awakening. How long does it last? Does this interest you? Stick around and let's get into it. Hello. I am still sitting in my unpacked, furniture not put together, unpainted office. I have gotten moved and it's just very slow going. But before we got into the video, I just wanted to pop in here and take a minute to say thank you so much. The outpouring of love and encouragement and support that you guys have shown me in the last few weeks, because you knew I was going through a rough time, has meant the world to me. I received letters and emails, and Marie lit a candle for me and was praying for me, and I received a care package from one of you guys with the most beautiful dream catcher and crystals in it, and you guys are just the best. You are so supportive and loving, and I'm so grateful for you. You've made all the difference, and I wanted to just pop in here and let you know that. So I am getting settled. I'm going to be back on track and flowing with the videos regularly, probably in the next few weeks. But this video was actually filmed a handful of weeks ago. And so I just thought I would put this up here for you guys to learn from and enjoy. And I'm going to keep on plugging away here, and I will be back as soon as I can. All right, you know how to get a hold of me if you need me. Hello and welcome back to the Wholeness Shift. My name is Veronica, and if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. I love you and I'm grateful for you. Today we're going to be talking about spiritual awakening and how long it lasts. This comes from a coaching session that I had recently where someone was asking about this, and she's like, when can I expect to be done with this? And I was like, girl, never. It will never end. It doesn't end. So let's clarify exactly what this means. There is a period of time when you first start becoming conscious of spirit, and you first start questioning and experiencing and meditating, and your vibes are going up. Your mind is opening. I will link to a video below where I talk about different signs that you might be experiencing a spiritual awakening. So there is that initial time where you're going through this awakening period. However, the awakening never officially ends. That initial phase 1 might wrap up, and there's no telling how long that lasts. It's different for every person, depending on how much you do the work, how consistent you are, how open-minded you are, how much in resistance you are. It could take weeks, months, years. You just have to judge it for yourself. But as I was explaining to this person a few weeks ago, the actual spiritual awakening never ends, because as soon as you learn about these things and you assimilate that information into your being, you integrate it into your consciousness, you start implementing it every day. It's part of you now. You are awake to that information. Well, then you're ready for more, because now you know this. It's time to go to the next grade, if you will. So now you're in first grade instead of kindergarten. And there's periods of shadow work, learning, raising your vibes, being exposed to new information, integrating that, like downloading and integrating. There's all of these steps and processes involved in every step, and it never ends. Because as soon as you integrate that information and absorb it, you integrate it, you assimilate it into your being and your consciousness, and you're operating from that mode now, then it's time for the next level. On and on and on, infinity. You're here to grow and learn, and as long as your mind is open to it and it's your intention to keep growing and learning, there will never be a day where you stop. So just like a baby who was all made of jello and couldn't even fathom the idea of being a toddler who could run around and jump on things, or being an adult who could laugh and play and do math and use proper English and whatnot. You've lived so many lifetimes just in this lifetime already. You never stop growing and learning. You do the same thing in a course of a day. You wake up in the morning, and what's most in alignment with you, depending on who you are, you might want to exercise or stretch. You might go right for the coffee. You might need something to eat. You might be a morning person and you like to turn on the music. You might like solitude and quiet. But whatever that is, like for me, when I first wake up, I meditate, I need breakfast, period. And so what's most in alignment with me, what's in the flow, is I go sit and meditate, and then I immediately go have breakfast. And then when I'm done eating, my body tells me, okay, I think we've got this down. We're good with breakfast. What's next is the internal dialogue, and so what's most in alignment for me at that time is it's time to go to work. And so I go to work, but I don't stay there forever. There's a time where work is no longer in alignment for me. What's next is maybe I need to use the restroom, or it's 5 o'clock, I'm done with work, and now I feel like I really need to lay on the couch and just chill for a little bit and watch some TV. So I go lay on the couch and watch TV. But after a time, I'm done with that. Like I've assimilated that craving. I'm done with it. I've met that need. That's no longer what's in alignment for me. So naturally, my spirit then moves to something else. I'll get an urge to get up and move around, or go for a walk, or go make dinner, or all you have to do is stay in the flow. The flow carries you from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. You don't have to think about it too much. You don't have to pre-plan it. You just have to follow your gut, follow your instincts, and stay with the flow. And if something doesn't feel right, you're going to know it. So just listen to your instincts. Talk to your spirit guides about it. Stay in the flow. But the answer to the question is, spiritual awakening never ends. Because once you're done with this cycle, then you'll move to the next one. And then you move to the next one. And then you move to the next one. That initial spiritual awakening phase might only last so long. But for the rest of your life, you will be constantly awakening to something else at all times. And each thing builds on each other. This is why some people have access to different information spiritually than other people do. You might say, well, I heard that other lady teach on it and she said this, and you teach on it and you say this, or they say that. Why aren't you all getting the same information? Well, it's because people are probably at different stages of their spiritual journey. You don't teach a 4-year-old all of the intricate details about human sexuality, if you will. You teach them about the stork or a garden. Or, do you know what I mean? Like if mommy's having a baby, you teach them in a different way that you would teach a college student who is going to be a doctor or a nurse. Different people are ready for different information. You don't feed a brand new baby popcorn like you would a teenager, right? So, and if you hand a teenager a bottle of milk, they're going to be like, what is this? How boring. I don't want that. Because they're no longer at that stage where that is really beneficial to them or interesting to them. They've moved beyond it. They're ready for more. They're awakened to more things. So different people will get slightly different information downloaded to them depending on what they're ready to know. So you take what resonates with you, what makes sense, and that's also, yes, thank you, Spomi. That's also why it's really important for people not to discount each other. For you to go, that is not what my guides told me. You're an effing idiot. And trust me, I actually get comments like that. I got one the other day telling me I was a worthless human being.
I learned absolutely nothing from this. You are a worthless human being. What a waste of space you are. You don't know what you're talking about. I get those. They're not nice. What that tells me is that those people actually just need to be sent away with love, because if you are higher minded and if you are truly learning from spirit and you've been doing the work and you're becoming more advanced in your journey, you would never discount someone else like that, because you understand that we're all at different phases along the spectrum. There's no end point. You're never going to be done. But you know that you don't get all of the same information at the same time. And to be in such a judgmental space that's just so polarized that, I don't get angry about it. I don't even get hurt about it. I just recognize it for what it is, and I send them on their way. So on that happy note, I hope that this helps. I hope this answered some questions. And if you have any other questions, leave me a comment below. I would appreciate it. And hit the subscribe button if you didn't already. I want to see you come back and keep learning with us. Let's walk on this journey together. We have a pretty great little community going here, and full of some great people, very supportive, generous, kind-hearted people. And I want to see it grow. I'm aiming for 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, because I want to see this information get out. And I think it's very possible that it can happen. I just crossed over 6,000 the other day, and I think that we can do this. I'd love to see this little tribe growing. All right, you guys, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.